All right, folks, welcome to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. I'm Rick Souza here with Sal Nicosia, and we're expecting Noah Evans to join us here in the booth. Should be a great night.
Yeah, it's really going to be an exciting night. Happy to be back in the booth with you, Rick. We're going to be Texas two-stepping around tonight, I think. We've watched a little bit of practice already. These drivers getting themselves acclimated here at Texas Motor Speedway, and I think we're in for a treat tonight. There's a lot of really technical driving that goes down here at Texas, so really looking forward to this one. Hope everybody watching out there on YouTube and then across the internet's locked in and ready for this one.
Yeah, it should be a blast here in Texas. We're watching a number of guys make their practice around this track. It will be, it should be a great track. This is what this car is built on. This is that 1.5 miles, but Texas is a little bit different of an animal.
Yeah, the track itself is designed in such a way where, 1 and 2 is not like this traditional style of racing where the one end of the track would be a totally different track. Versus the other. So minding your P's and Q's in 1 and 2 and really capitalizing on your speed and your run as you're going down the backstretch into 3 and 4 and coming off that turn 4, a little shake, a little wiggle, a little two-step as you're getting back to the start-finish line.
No, what's your impression of this track?
I mean, it's big, it's bad, it's fast. Texas Motor Speedway is a little bit different from a lot of the tracks we normally see. I mean, it's completely different ball game in 1 and 2 than it is in 3 and 4. A lot steeper banked in 3 and 4 after the repave, and I believe it was the early or late 2010s. But the far end of this track is completely different. A lot faster in 3 and 4, a lot more flatter, kind of like I'd say Auto Club banking in 1 and 2. So, I mean, it's two completely different styles of driving in both corners. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers can conserve their tires. Just keep them a little bit warm and. Hopefully they can stick it in 3 and 4.
Well, while you're talking about the track, let's go ahead and bring up the race information.
Yeah, it's a nice day here at Texas Motor Speedway. 76 degrees. We're gonna get locked in for 134 laps with a stage break at lap 44. There are no quick repairs, so if you break it on the track, you break it like you broke it in real life. 6 sets of tires, talking about those tires and managing heat and managing wear. 1 on the car, 5 in the pit. These guys are going to start with 75% fuel tonight. You're going to have 3 green, white, checkered restart attempts for this one. Track temp, though, what does that say? 117 degrees?
Yeah,
I got my glasses on?
It is smoking hot here in Texas.
Yeah, that is a warm temp to get rolling here, and it'll be exciting to see how they manage.
Well, that's going to play havoc with these tires.
Yeah, I mean, these guys in the back, they're hungry. They want to get up through this field, but, I mean, patience is going to be key here tonight. As hot as Texas Motor Speedway is, I mean, it's going to chew up some tires. I mean, we see races like Rockingham where tire management is going to come into play here. We see it a lot of times in the NASCAR Cup Series. Tire management is everything, especially at a track like this where it's different at both ends. You're going to see a lot of drivers burn their stuff up early, but you're going to see the ones who are smart conserve their tires to the end.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's quickly attach. Oh gosh, I can't talk tonight. Our keys for today's race.
Yeah, so tire conservation, like you've been saying, track position and green flag pit stops. These runs are going to be fun. It's going to be huge to qualify and make sure you get that position because, tire fall off is going to happen to everybody unless you're really being patient and saving those tires for the opportune moment as you watch some of your competitors maybe get a little more aggressive. But really heads up racing tonight, smart racing. A lot of strategy is going to go into this for these drivers in terms of how they're going to approach their evenings. Yeah, look at that. Playoff standings already. They're still talking about it. I've been away for a couple weeks, so I'm just getting myself back and acclimated here. Austin Wheeler, though, 3 wins leading the playoff standings right now. Corey Bunch, Lucas Gortman, Jordan Wenzel, Lucas Whitehead, and Dakota LaRue in that top 6, all with wins, at least 1 win to their name so far here in the iNRS League tonight, or this year, I should say. It's always right around the bubble, though, that we really want to keep our eyes peeled. Vernon Broadbeck, Vince Burns, 16th and 17th. See if some of those guys down in the red can pull themselves up by their bootstraps here in Texas.
Well, just a few seconds before we go under qualifying. Now, in this league, there will be after qualifying, there'll be a 5-minute drivers meeting. We can cover some things there, just talk about things, all things iNRS, and then we'll pick up this race on the drop of the green flag, just somewhere around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's just about wrapped up practice. Get as many minutes, as many seconds of practice here as you possibly can here at Texas Motor Speedway. This track is tough to get two hands around.
Our practice has been completed. Now we're in the in qualifying.
Always tough to get your pole lap in here at Texas. I mean, you've got to nail 2 different styles of corners in 2 laps. I mean, that's a big demand even for the most professional of drivers here at Texas Motor Speedway. So we're going to see who can put it on pole tonight, who's going to be smart, and hopefully try to start up front. I mean, like you said, the track position is going to be everything tonight, whether it's tire conservation, fuel mileage, whatever it's going to be. If you're going to start up front, you want to stay up front, as we see Corey Ennis right now on track for qualifying. We'll see what he can do.
And he looks like he's putting down quite a heater, getting his warm-up lap in here. And like you said, I mean, it is such a, put your brain in a pretzel going from other tracks and now having to come to Texas where it is really, and I'm sure we'll say it over and over again tonight, but it's 1 and 2 are from Mars, 3 and 4 are from Venus. So 2 very opposite ends of the universe in terms of types of racetrack, all at one time. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys figure it out as the night goes on without burning up their stuff.
And already some times are beginning to populate on the tower.
See some familiar name, Jordan Wenzel up there at the top, sitting on the pole right now. Still some time left to go here in the qualifying session.
Yeah, and the second lap here at Texas is always going to be your fastest lap.
Oh. And there you go, Matt Parsini now.
Unfortunately, I think Corey Ennis just tapped the wall, and with iRacing, did more than tap it that time.
Yeah, that's always the tough thing here on iRacing. I think you were saying where anytime you make a little contact with that wall, they're going to make that lap invalid. And it's, even just a little brush, just a little touch, just they iRacing don't like that, and they take that lap time away from you, unfortunately. So
I mean, you got to be concise out here. I mean, precision is key to just get every inch of this track that you possibly can. And Tony Jass right now out in qualifying. Jacob Masso out in front right now, a 30.260, a blazing fast lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. So we'll see. Still a long way to go for qualifying. A couple more cars have not come out on track yet. So far, 21 cars have qualified, and Jacob Masso out in front right now by just about 0.15 of a second. We'll see if anyone can get closer, at least touch that time, but right now he is leading the way.
And it's Masso led bunch. Wheeler, Parisini, Wenzel, Gortman, Ramsdell, Cash right now. Those are the top 9 drivers that I can see up there on the pole. Some really fast race car drivers that have been battling all season long here in the iNRS League. Some familiar names still hanging around up there at the front like we know they will. This is going to be everyone's opportunity to get that all too valuable track position tonight.
Qualifying is wrapping up for a number of these drivers here as we wind down with just a minute or so to go. Just one driver who has not put up a qualifying lap yet. That's Shane Trotter. It's from Asheboro, North Carolina.
And how many entries do we have tonight? We have 26 entries. Is that correct?
27 entries.
27? Okay. I know a lot of the races I was doing earlier in the year, it was about who would even make some of these these races here. So it's interesting now that we have kind of a smaller field, 27 cars versus, some nights there were 42 entries and open cars were running for positions to try to make races. So like tonight, if you can baby it around the track a little bit if you're not super, super comfortable in your qualifying session here at Texas, and learn as you go, especially at a track as kind of night and day as this.
Well, that pretty much wraps up qualifying. Still got another 30 seconds or so to go, but everybody who has showed up and took their car off the hauler has now qualified. And we'll get
one of the coolest parts of this track. And
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sal. No,
I was just going to say, as we're transferring over, one of the coolest parts of this track, it popped up on screen here, was the victory lane here at Texas Motor Speedway. I mean, everybody wants to win, but it is quite the party. Cowboy hat, 6 shooters all around if you end up in victory lane here. Obviously, I don't think people are home wearing their cowboy hats tonight, but they can imagine. But it'll be a fun experience for all of us to see on Sunday, as well as see him down here tonight.
Well, that's one of the best parts about these leagues that we do broadcasts on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. They're a preview of what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see who wants to be a cowboy tonight, who wants to park in victory lane. And you've got to you almost have to tame Texas Motor Speedway. This isn't a track you can just drive around. It's not a cookie cutter like Charlotte or Chicago lane. It is a whole different ball game out here. It's a much different strategies, and we're going to see who can hopefully pull off their. Will we see a first-time winner at Texas Motor Speedway tonight? Will it be last week's winner, Lucas Gortman, pulling off his 3rd win of the year and tying the points leader, Austin Wheeler? So we're going to see who is going to be the tamer of Texas Motor Speedway, who's going to rustle this track down and hopefully end their night in victory lane.
So we do have a stage break at lap 44. A yellow will fly for a competition caution, as this league does award stage points. So we'll see that tonight. Right now, based on my calculation, guys, based on 3/4 fuel and if they stay green, somewhere about 48 or so laps per tank of Sunoco fuel.
All right. That should make things interesting in terms of strategy. I feel like that's going to be just as intricate a part of this race tonight as the turns 1 and 2, and the variation in this track. Making sure that you're scheduling your stops and conserving your tire and understanding, maybe trying to throw a trick play in there on a pit stop to get some track position back. I'm really curious to see if anybody's got anything up their sleeve.
I think we'll see lots of that. In fact, I expect we'll see some guys who will stay out when they need to get a position. You can tire. I mean, you can fuel conserve here, but it's going to cost you positions.
Yes, it's just risk versus reward at this point. I mean, we see it in the Cup Series all the time. The stage break or caution will come out right before the stage break, and you see guys who haven't had a shot all day stay up front and try to grab a stage winner, at least a couple stage points. So we'll see for those guys outside of the playoffs, starting with this 75% fuel and at a track like this where the stage break is so early in the race, it's going to mean everything to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, anytime you can gain some points. Obviously, chalking up that win, whether it happens to be a first-timer or somebody new, is critical. We've got this kind of is almost like near the halfway point prior to the All-Star break, and then it's game on for the second half of the season.
And you want every single point you can get coming into this time of the year, right? We're getting close to the halfway marker. Every point you can get matters. So, like you guys have been saying, it's going to be exciting to see what kind of strategies they pull out of their hats tonight and stay out long, even if it's just for those couple points to keep them off that bubble. It's always that most exciting race. And obviously it's always great to get yourself in victory lane, but if you are on that bubble, you want to know you're safe and get above that cut line. So interested in watching some of those drivers who are floating around in that neck of the woods in the standings. See what they're thinking tonight here in Texas.
It is 5 points separate everybody from the bubble here between Vernon Broadbeck and Vince Burns right now. It's only a 5-point gap to the red right now, you have Garrett Walden, Jeffrey Ramsdell, and Joseph Masso. That's rounding out the final 4 who are in the red right now. But take a look at Jacob Masso right now. That's our pole sitter in 11th in points right now. This win will mean a lot to him if he can get in victory lane and lock himself in to the playoffs. Can't forget Eric Jefferson, Tyler Lem in 7th and 8th, looking to lock themselves in either on points or hopefully a win.
All right, just about 30 seconds before we get this AutoTrader EchoPark Automotive 200 underway here at Texas. That's a mouthful.
It's a long name. It is a long one.
I mean, it's much better than the Emilia Romagna whatever at I believe it's the Italian Grand Prix last year. I think it was about 8 different sponsors. So, I mean, a lot shorter, thankfully, tonight. I mean, we see Dickies on the sign right there. Maybe the Dickies 200 would have been better, but, AutoTrader EchoPark, whatever, 200 here at Texas tonight, always going to be a good race here at a track like this. So, warm-up is over, driver's meeting is over, and we'll see cars going to the grid very shortly.
All right, and we'll get you that grid momentarily as soon as we have it. And we've got a grid.
All right. Some good-looking race cars out there on track tonight. Some new schemes for me at least. Maybe some of you at home watching. Maybe there's some new ones out there, new revamps and updates in the field.
Go ahead, guys. Take it away.
These guys do such. We're going to boot, scoot, and boogie here. Row 1, Jacob Musau and John Ledger. Row 2, Corey Bunch and Austin Wheeler. Row 3, Matt Parasini, Jordan Wenzel. Row 4, Garrett Walden and John DeRugeris. Row 5 is Michael Whitley Jr. and Lucas Gortman. And final row of this page here is Jeff Ramsdell and Christopher Cash.
Second page, Eric Jeffers starting in the 13th position, Dakota LaRue in 14th, Vince Burns in 15th, Paul Irvin in the 16th spot, Tyler Lemon, Clark France round out 17th and 18th respectively, Richard Mills, Joe Masso in the 20th spot, Tony Japs and Corey Ennis 21st and 22nd, and rounding out this field, Bradley Reese and Ron Fitting in the 24th spot.
Couple drivers to bring up the rear
couple
of the
sneaky
pack.
guys in there.
Yep, is Ty Bostic, Shane Trotter, and Austin Walton. All right. John Ledger finds himself on that outside. That was we'll take it. That works.
It's stuck in my head. Sure I
go. All right, pace car, lights are off. Masso on the front row tonight. We'll see if he can pull off a win, lock himself into the playoffs. He's 11th in points as of right now. We'll see the iRacing pace car pulling down pit road now.
Field is tightening up a little bit.
And they are. Butts to nuts. Here we go. Barney's waving the flag. And we are underway at Texas Motor Speedway.
Masso and Ledger are going to lead us down into turns number 1 and 2. We're going to stay side by side through the corner. 3 wide for the lead, possibly. Will we get that? Not quite. Is Masso going to go up to block? Really close contact there with John Ledger. And you can't get much closer to the bumper than that, but he was clear and he made the block. As Corey Bunch in the 77 going to look to the inside for the lead.
Corey Bunch just going to keep his nose stuck in there just far enough as he's bad on that top side, throwing that block. And he might squeak his way under through 1 and 2 here. And we have a new leader here at Texas Motor Speedway early on.
Well, this is just
Corey
like we were
Bunch,
saying.
we've seen him excel so many places throughout the year. And he's real good at not just getting in the lead, but driving away with it. And he's starting to do that. And this is where that tire conservation conversation is going to start. Say that 3 times fast.
Absolutely. Like you were saying, running away with it. I mean, that may not be the strategy tonight here at Texas. I mean, you want to be able to conserve these tires, but you also kind of don't want to be an idiot and burn your tires up too early just because you want the lead. Bear in mind, lap 44 is the stage break. We're about 40 laps away from that right now. So these guys dropping back early, will that be a strategy that'll play into the later race tonight? We're going to see. But right now, Matthew Parasini trying to go for the top 3 spot right now, trying to get by John Ledger, as we're going to go single file racing here at Texas.
And it's a game of chess, not checkers, especially in the early going. Just going to be such a mental battle for these guys. You know, the habit is get to the front, get to the lead. Let's go. That's what the job we came to do. But such a tough thing to readjust that mindset sometimes and settle in for what you know is a day in the office versus just getting out there and trying to roll your way up to the front. Hurt yourself in the long run.
Right there.
As we get a little hurting of ourselves.
Wow.
Back up the track
flag is out.
Avoids any contact there. That's something.
Yeah, we were.
Wow, I don't know how no one hit that 88 machine, but what a save to keep it out of the rest of that traffic. And Richard Mills going for the ride of his life down 8 spots from where he originally started. But wow, you cannot keep a car saved much better than that. And shout out to everybody else on track for that wreck avoidance. Let's take a
I think you had a little help there.
Take a look here at the 27 of Ennis. See if we can go ahead on that replay there.
Just trying to squeak down there, catches a little bit of this grass. I think they're coming through on this next part here, down the front stretch. Trying to dive in and make something happen.
Yeah,
just
definitely
out of
not
track
clear
there.
Yeah, not clear there.
As long as you get away with a fresh fire suit, you know.
Right.
You know, hopefully he's not wearing white in there tonight, but you know, not too much damage for either of those guys, and it's early enough where.
We had someone hit the wall up there too.
That was Tony Japs in the 42. He got a little bit of contact later on. So a number of drivers making their way down onto pit road were involved. Shane Schroeder and Tony Japs on pit road.
Yep.
All right, first caution of the night here at lap 7.
We'll see if this will mess up anybody's strategy here on kind of when they wanted to pit. I mean, we're only 7 laps in, already a caution, and Corey Bunch up in front. Not really what he wanted to see as a caution. To see the rest of this field is going to get bunched right back up again. If it's going to be anything like the start of this race, it's going to be very chaotic. I mean, we saw a lot of cars get bunched up. We went single file pretty quickly, but you know, it's going to be exciting to see how the rest of this race is going to play out here if we keep having very, very short green flag runs like this.
It's definitely going to start to change that strategy. That tire conversation will shift a little bit.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, Richard Mills did not come in after that. He just elected to stay out. So.
Okay. Not enough damage to make it matter, I guess. Just try to ride it out before the comp caution. Like you said, it's an early comp caution.
Right.
What is it, lap 44, right? So try to nurse it around and get as many in as you can before, you know, putting yourself potentially a lap down or spending more time than you need to on pit road.
Right, and again, it just looked like a very light tap there. It doesn't look like a lot of damage to any of the 4 cars that were involved in that.
The money pays for is join iRacing, our little league. He actually pays this guy to do this. This is being broadcast on Twitch, and they actually got commentators talking about it here in a minute. You'll hear them. They're under caution right now because they already crashed. They're no better than the car.
I would be more worried about Tony Japs, who kind of hit that wall up there.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see kind of. I'm just trying to find him in the field here as we're clicking through, getting back under. as we're under yellow. He's still hanging around back there. I'm not sure if he came in, but curious to see what his decision was on there on that. It looked like he took quite a wallop there on the outside wall.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like, again, heavy damage, but we're going to see a really good battle up front. The Ledger and Bunch have been up front for a long time in this series, and no stranger to the front of this field or clean air either. So we're going to see two really good cars battle up in front. Bunch up 2 spots. Ledger still in the 2nd spot, still hungry for a win this season. We'll see what he can do as these cars are coming off turn 4. All right, here we go. Back to green here. What a jump by Bunch to get up front and to get clean air, as Ledger and Masso going to try to fill in that gap there. And Corey Bunch is gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday. But we'll see if he's going to burn up those tires early, or is he just going to have a mad dash to the finish there.
It feels like, to me, he's definitely pushing it hard, wants to get stage points, wants to get those laps logged. Everything is, we're at that point, like we said earlier in the year, where every point matters even more.
So the 22.
So maybe the strategy is to run it out.
Yeah, so the 22 of Ty Bostic tagged that safer barrier.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of contact there. Saw the smoke come off on the side of that 22 machine. We'll see if he'll be all right, or if there's any damage on the 22 of Bostic. We'll see as the race plays out. But right now, it is all Corey Bunch up front.
Looking back through the field, lots of still 2 wide action.
We've got a little group here, side by side by side by side. Pretty fierce racing as try to all find their way, get single file to 1 and 2. It seems to be the fastest way through turns 1 and 2 if you can make it happen. A little bit of drift up. Oh, a little bit more smoke there as they get ready to end 3 and 4. But if you get drifted up there into the top of 2, you're really out in no man's land, and having to slow down to make those corners as it is, it can get that much more difficult when you're pushed out in a position that's uncomfortable.
Absolutely. I mean, that tri-oval is treacherous. I mean, we see these cars get so close to each other. Coming off of the tri-oval there, as we're looking at the number 12 machine right now of Eric Jeffers in the 10th spot, rounding out the top 10. We'll see what he can do tonight. And really, really close racing right now. We'll see if Bunch is using up all of his stuff early. I mean, it's 109 track temperature right now. It is hot. No other way to word it. It is blazing out here at Texas. Oh, look at very close racing there with the 19 of Ledger. I mean, it has been close all day long, and it's going to get even closer. Yeah, I mean, running that middle line seems to be the way to go right now. Is, you get the run side by side, but just not quite what you want in 3 and 4, because that was a turn that they didn't. Yeah, you saw right there. That was a turn they didn't reconfigure. So that inside line prevailing there, but the middle line works just as good in 1 and 2.
It's like we're settling down.
Just hugging that bottom line, he'll be just.
Still 2 wide action further on back in the pack. To the 97 of Jeff Ramsdale.
Well, these guys putting on a show so far tonight for all of us here on the IWM network. Is the 97 machine you can see trying to get under Eric Jeffers, I believe, or Dakota LaRue.
Dakota LaRue, yeah.
Yep. Looks like he's finally going to get clear, and we're going to go mostly single file now, besides the 12 machine of Jeffers. Staying single file in the middle, and looks like Dakota LaRue still falling back further into this field, so we'll see if he can finally get in line, finally keep clear, and looks like he will with a pass around the outside. What a move there by LaRue to get around. I believe that is Christopher Cash in the 69 machine, but really good racing in the back here so far. These guys keeping it really clean, as see Ty Bostic there going for a pass on the inside as well. So really good racing from a lot of the guys in the back right now, but Corey Bunch still leading the way by a decent margin.
That always seems to be the way. There's these guys, every position matters, every spot counts. Lap 16. 17 of 44 here in the first stage.
So side by side, door to door with the 55 of Vince Burns. And I think that's the Ally car. I'm not sure if that's Paul. Maybe Paul Irvin. But they were,
I believe it is, yes,
inches off each other there.
Yeah, that trial was where you're going to see these
during the qualifying
get close
session
together. Yeah, I mean, love the teal rims on that Ally machine, by the way. But you can see the 97, I believe, get brushed into the wall there. And like I was just getting ready to say, that trial is one of the most treacherous spots on this track. You can already see the tire marks in the grass there. So these guys getting the closest to each other right there. I mean, look at the gap there in 1 and 2. I mean, it just shuts right. Oh, looks like we got problems.
Ooh,
that's the 51 of Paul
Irvin, yeah. See what happened there? That was weird. He just completely dropped down onto the track. Don't know what happened there.
Cat jumped up on the wheelers for a second.
Yep. Kid came over and tapped on his back. Said, "Hey, Dad."
Trouble for Paul Irvin early on in this race. We'll see if he can. He was about 6 spots gained. He's now lost those 6 spots right now, so he's going to try to make his way back up front, looking to the inside of Austin Walton in the 17 machine. So we'll keep an eye out for Paul Irvin. We'll see if those issues continue for the 51 machine.
These guys are really using that tri-oval part of the track. I mean, I just absolutely sending it for every little inch, every little gap that they can find. They are trying to put their nose in that spot to get ahead here as we're getting to the first stage.
Absolutely. I mean, we see tracks like that have these tri-ovals, like Charlotte, like Chicagoland, Kentucky, more so Texas right now. It's very, very sharp turns, so staying too wide through there isn't impossible, but it is very tough for you to keep control of that car. Is just going to want to try to slide up into the corner.
Let's bring up the gap information here because Corey Bunch and Matt Pericini have kind of opened up a little bit of a gap over a second between Jacob Musow and Austin Wheeler.
And it's like we said, that leader's going to have to manage that lead, but Pericini is bringing it to him right now. These two guys are running a race out front, and strategy kind of just to run it out to the end of the stage, get fresh tires and fuel, and run it like it's a fresh race. But winning those points over is going to be tremendous for those guys in the iNRS Racing League.
About halfway through this stage now, lap 22 to go now, as Bunch and Pericini have pulled away from the rest of this field by about 1 2 2/10 now between Pericini and the NASCAR, which is Jacob Masso. We'll see if they can get their way back up front. And right now, keep an eye out on this 25 car. I mean, seems like he's conserving these
They're
tires.
having a fun battle.
Yeah, leading this pack here right now. And it looks like these cars are considerably slower than the top 2 cars of Bunch and Pericini. We'll see if that's just a strategy. As you can see, Wheeler going to try to go for the pass now through the trial. Barely clears the 25 machine, and we'll see if this is a strategy to conserve these tires. If staying in a pack is the key way, as Bunch and Pericini right now are running off with it. Yeah, look at the lap times there. The difference there, I mean, It's about 2 or 3/10 of a second between Bunch and Pericini.
You can smell the tires roasting off these cars from here. Those lap times tell quite a story as these guys are battling for position, just trying to get every little bit they can. The battle between Musow and Wheeler right now really is interesting to me, because the more they battle, the further those leaders are going to get out and get away. So obviously you want every position on track, but this early in the race, interesting to see these guys choose to fight it out the way they are right now.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying about every position matters. I think we'll definitely see that play out about halfway through and later on in this race. I mean, you really just want to survive this first stage and get your points and just, come to pit road at least somewhat happy with your car and where you finish. So we'll see tire conservation play out a little bit longer in this race, as Bunch of Pericini are your top 2. Musow, Wheeler, Wenzel, that's going to round out your top 5. here so far in the AutoTrader EchoPark 200.
It is a visually stunning separation, even as Bunch now gets away from Pericini, and Pericini is pretty far out and away there. That camera angle coming off of or entering turn 1 there it really gives you some perspective on exactly how these guys are wheeling and dealing out here in Texas right now.
Yeah, I mean, this
Bunch
is like
always
this is like something
super consistent from him.
Yeah, I mean, this is like something we see. No, you're good. This is like something we see later on in the race, is dominance like this when you have those fresh tires and you're able to just run to the finish. But right now, this isn't a run to the finish. We just passed halfway through stage number 1. So we'll see if Corey Bunch is the best car. I mean, obviously, it's too early to tell really who the best car is. Bunch just wanting to get that stage win and those stage points, obviously, playing into the playoffs. But I still think, in my opinion, it's too early to tell who the best car tonight is going to be.
I mean, Corey Bunch always very, very consistent in his driving style and the way he, his lines around the track. He truly runs his own race. But like you said, what car is the best car out here? You're absolutely right. It's just a matter of figuring that out, and I think you'll see that as we really get rolling after the comp caution. Everybody's it out for themselves here. Like we said, super hot track temperature. Everything is really fluid, including the rubber beneath them in some places. But getting yourself put together and ready to roll after the comp caution, we'll really see who are the contenders.
Yeah, track temperature, like you were saying, track tempo's gone up about 4 degrees. We're at 111 right now at these track temperatures. It's only going to get hotter as these cars continue to rip up here at Texas Motor Speedway. Look how close those guys are getting to the wall there coming off of turn number 4. And that tri-oval, it's treacherous. I mean, it'll bite you really, really quick if you're not careful. So Corey Bunch right now up in front. Matt Pericini, we'll see if he'll have anything for the 77 of Bunch. But right now, striking camera angle right there is Bunch just miles ahead of this field.
Yeah. And it's so interesting you talk about this trial, and guys are going to get inches and inches and closer, especially as the tire goes away. It's such a dynamically changing portion of the track. Track's not changing as much as the tire itself is changing. These guys are going to have to adjust their styles a little bit to, account for how the car behaves. Wouldn't be surprised in the late stages of this one. I don't have a crystal ball, but you might see a little plume of smoke or a little fender bent out of shape through that trial as they try to use up every single inch of this track here tonight.
Right. I mean, we saw Ty Bostic do it earlier. I mean, that was on fresh tires. Who knows how it's going to get as the race is going to continue to go on. I mean, off of turn 4 is where you're going to be the fastest coming down that tri-oval. And we see a lot of guys run the middle off of exit. We'll see if they'll adjust that exit there to run lower lines so they can just come up to that wall a lot quicker, but most importantly, a lot safer. As you can see right now, I pass for second as Musau is going to make the move on Pericini, 24 versus 25 off turn 4. Gosh, and like you were saying, inches off of that wall coming off turn 4 is Pericini going to still lead us as our second place car.
Yeah, Musau came from quite a ways back there. You could see he had been kind of sitting back and making sure he had the right stuff to come up here and make this move as he gets around Matthew Pericini on the exit of turn 2. And he'll lead him down the backstretch here. Taking that position, P2 now.
And we'll see if this is that
10 laps to
strategy
here before the end of this stage. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be all about the strategy. Did he sit back to kind of load up? With only 10 to go though in the stage, or 9 to go in the stage, could he get some ground made up here on Corey Bunch? We'll see. Corey's still, you see that camera angle. He's still far out and away, a good ways. So see how that kind of plays into the strategy for the 25 and Jacob Musau.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that Musau can make up that ground. I mean, we saw how much ground he made on Pericini and how much faster he is than Pericini. So we'll see if he can make up that gap. As you can see, look at the entry differences there between these two. Pericini much faster in, not as fast off as Musal. So we'll see if Musal will use that to his advantage to catch up to the 77 a bunch. But it looks like he held up just to save his tires till the end of this stage. And like we were saying, it's going to be a mad dash to the finish. When it is the end of these stages, guys who saved their stuff up will start getting considerably faster. So Musal gaining very quickly on the 77 a bunch here as we come to, I believe it's 5 or 6 to go till the end of stage number 1.
And these other drivers in the field should be paying attention as they've watched Jacob Musal go by them, because this is something that they're going to want to take notes for later on in the race, because he had some tremendous speed here and has been able to really hold on to a lot of the grip he's got left in those 4 Goodyear tires.
Absolutely, and we see on board Musal right now. Look how much faster he is in that 77 a bunch. He's gained about, I would say, almost a second and a half as he hugs that bottom line there. We'll see if he can get it done. I think he can catch him before this stage is over. I mean, you can see on the telemetry right there, a lot slower in the corners, but we'll look at it coming off the straightaway here, or coming off the corner. That 1.2 is getting ready to turn into 1.1 for the gap right now. So we'll see if the exits are his strong suit here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, he sure is making a lot of headway on Corey Bunch. Corey Bunch got I figure with about a second worth of gap, he's probably starting to look in his rear view mirror and decide if he timed it out right. So a learning experience for everybody here as we get rolling. Corey Bunch up 2 spot, his original starting position tonight. Jacob Musal obviously dropping back in that P2 spot from his original position from the pole, but showing us why he's one of the best here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway, making this run right now.
Take a look at our points leader right now, just moved into the 3rd spot, getting by Matt Pericini. We'll see if that'll play into these stage points right now, and he got by him really quickly. Looks like Pericini burned his stuff up just a little early, trying to fight for that 1st spot. 4 laps to go here in stage 1. Can Musal do it? Can he grab that 1st spot and go from 11th in points, hopefully there on up into probably 10th or 9th spot after the stage win? So we'll see how those stage points are going to play into tonight.
Yeah, every point is going to matter that much more. Already thinking about playoffs. It's crazy to think before the halfway point, we're already focused on it. It's already something that's going to play factor and matter. And these stage points in this league, they are very coveted. 2 laps as that gap is kind of staying at that 1-1-1-2 mark, or I'm sorry, 1-1-1-2-1-3 mark as they're coming through 1 and 2.
Pits will be closed, I think, this time by.
Musal seemed to have better speed on the straights, but in those corners, Corey Bunch is just able to lay down a line that he's obviously very comfortable with and can carry a lot of speed around.
White flag for stage number 1. Bunch going to be your leader. Musal, Wheeler, Pericini, and Wenzel. That's the rest of your top 5 here. Austin Wheeler, your points leader. And you can see Lucas Gortman, last week's winner, sitting in the 7th spot in the number 16 machine. We'll see if he can make his way up. John DeRogeris, Corey Ennis, and Tyler Lem. That's going to round out your top 10 here at Texas.
All right, 1 lap to go, and that caution will fly at the end of lap 44.
I'll tell you what, if we are in for more of what we've seen so far tonight, I know we're just 44 laps in. It's the first stage. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a barn burner if we get some real long run racing here and see how these guys are all going to figure it out here tonight.
Yeah, especially if the next round of pit stops winds up being a green flag stop like they've shown so far. Could be very interesting.
Corey Bunch, going to grab stage 1 here.
Corey Bunch.
Musal, Wheeler, Pericini, Wenzel going to round out your top 5, and it stayed about a 1.3 second gap between Bunch and Musal in those last couple laps there. It looked like at one point Musal was gaining on him, but that didn't turn out to be the way it played out. here at Texas Motor Speedway. Is Corey Bunch going to grab the stage number 1 win here at Texas?
I'm sure Jacob Musow sitting in that car thinking about how he can do it better later in the race and understand exactly how much more he needs to save to get out in the event. Or another leader here decides they want to run and push and get out as far as they can. So a lot of mental games, a lot of figuring things out here tonight, and hot tracks and hot times here in Texas.
Mental gymnastics.
Yeah,
It sure is.
So the caution flies,
I hope they're
and with 46 laps in the books, we figured kind of earlier calculation, if it stays green, then they should just need one more spot somewhere around lap 90 or so. Now they'll have opportunity, since they can depending on how they're running, they may choose to come in early because they can get that many laps. But with 134 laps, 90 seems to be like the right, maybe the 95, somewhere in there.
So
Yeah,
that'll be the
we'll
check
see.
things out. This guys.
And we'll see who will turn a. Will it be a strategy for some of these guys, or will it be a strategy for a couple of these guys losing spots on pit road? We're gonna find out really soon as pit stops getting underway here at Texas. We'll see who will make it off pit road first.
And even the race off pit road, something to be excited about tonight. I mean, the track position battles they're just so crucial. So making sure that you don't speed and you don't have any issues on pit road, and you're making sure you're getting out of your box ahead of that guy by just as much as you need to hang on to that one spot. So,
well, just a quick analysis of the pit times. It looks like everybody took tires and 4 tires and fuel. Some definite winners. Saw some good pit times. Corey Bunch, bring up some pit information here on that pit strategy board. You can see a lot of some spots were kind of made up there, but so far so good. A couple, saw some winners. 14.68. That was Corey Bunch in the box. Those that didn't pit so well, go back. Garrett Walden in the 43. That was a 16.13 stop. And for Tyrell for Matt Pericini, that was a 17.25 stop. Those 2 to 3 seconds there translates into some major position changes. That rolled Matt Pericini back to 11th.
Did that say Tyler Ennis moved up 15 positions on that pit cycle? Did I read that right, or am I having a fever dream, Rick? It is hot out here in Texas.
I'm looking up the information now. I don't know. That was actually exactly.
All right, maybe just a little, maybe a glitch in the matrix there, But I could have swore I have not. Interesting how the strategy plays as they're trying. 14 spots. He's in 8th place.
Walden or Ennis? Who are you asking about? Garrett Walden?
Ennis.
Corey Ennis started in 22nd. He's now up to 7th.
Wow. What an incredible run for him to get up through the field.
Yeah, we can bring up that gain information real quick while we're about to go back to green flags.
Alrighty. Start of stage 2. We're going back green.
There goes Corey. Right at home, the front of the field, the big jump on the restart there. Interesting to see if he'll sail it out and get that track position early and try to manage that lead like he did in the first stage, knowing what he knows now, as he knows his competitors are coming for him.
Well, it's a completely different race now. That was just towards that first stage, but now it's all about making it to the end, coming up a winner. I'm not sure you
Yeah,
guys
Jordan
saw it, but there's a lot of contact right there between the 25 and the 81.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jordan
He's
Wenzel,
trying to make some inroads there.
Yeah, I think he politely moved the 25 out of the way. Little nudge.
Is there a way to politely move it?
I think if there is, I think that's the definition of what he just did. So,
I mean, it just looked like a little tap of them up, or be like, hey, listen, can I have this? Oh, look at a brush on the wall there with a 43 machine. Like you said, that's what we're going to see as this race goes on. Garrett Walden.
Oh, yellow's
caution
out.
Flag is out. Caution flag out. That's the third caution of the day. It looks like the 40. That's the Ally machine, Paul Irvin, I believe.
Yeah, he's got some major front end damage on that.
And we saw trouble with Paul Irvin earlier on. I don't think it was an announcer's jinx. I hope it wasn't. But Paul Irvin right now, heavy damage. It doesn't look like we can see it from here. We'll see what's wrong with the 51 of Irvin.
Let's go back to that replay, see what we can see.
Yeah, let's take a right there. I believe it's DeRogeris.
John DeRogeris, yeah, John DeRogeris.
Right, yep. And looks like he just got either and on the apron trying to rejoin.
The apron monster got him.
Looks like the 97 might have taken most of that hit there.
Yep, 94. There's still contact.
Wow.
A little bit of net code there.
A couple guys here. This one went on for quite a while.
Shout out to Richard Mills. That's the second massive wreck he's avoided today. Getting through there in the Snickers machine, and hopefully he'll have a third fire suit sitting in that trailer ready for that. But definitely a scary moment for the 88 machine is he's gotten through his second scary moment of the day.
I think there's a lot of damage to the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell.
Yep.
He's got some significant. I'm not sure all those tires are pointing in the right direction.
No,
well, and
there's a lot of damage on the
front
right of that car.
Yeah,
that tire
not turning.
Yeah, he's got nothing there.
Yeah, definitely one of the wheels you definitely need to run here at Texas Motor Speedway, and ideally you want all four tires spinning at once, and right now that 97 machine does not have that. That's Jeff Ramsdell. But unfortunate for him. I mean, he was minding his own business, just an innocent bystander there of the spin of the 59 of DeRogeris. So unfortunate for the 97 Morton machine, but he'll be coming back down pit road to get his repairs done. And like you said, no fast repair. You break it, you break it. So unfortunate for the 97 team.
And it's again, you never want to get caught up in things, but it looks like he took some heavy damage. But at least try to get it out of the way at lap 50, better than lap 150. I know we don't have 150 laps tonight. Better to get it out of the way early than have something like that take you out of contention late in the race. I'll stand on the soapbox and die on the anthill that if Michael McDowell can come back 7 laps down or 6 laps down like he did earlier this year in the Cup Series, even here on iRacing, we can do it. There's hope. You never know what happens.
Well, he's gonna hope for those iRacing ferries to try and get some repairs done to that right front tie rod and try to get that car back in shape.
Speaking of tires, track has cooled down a lot. We went from 111 degrees to right now it is 105. So the track definitely cooling down a lot more. We'll see which of these drivers are playing Texas Hold'em with their tire sets right now. Just trying to hold on to the end of the race. If cautions come out, they can just keep getting new ones. So we'll see who's the takers, who's going to run aggressive, who's going to conserve. And right now, conservative is the key for the 25 of Musau. We saw him make a run for the first spot in stage 1. He's going to be starting back in the 4th spot, just outside of, I believe, Lucas Gortman. So we'll see how this is going to play out as they come off of turn 4 and ready to go back green.
Few drivers involved in that
fast bunch.
Few drivers involved in that wreck that come in to get some repairs made. Corey just has that restart just down.
He's so good at it. I mean, I forget what race was earlier in the year. I called with you, Rick. I think it was Phoenix, and just every single restart, every single time. We went to some in-car camera on him, I remember, in that race, and it looked like just muscle memory. Once he's got that mental vision of what he needs to do in a race, it seems like he can repeat, where a lot of it's not easy to do, to get in that rhythm, truly a rhythm. You hear people say that word, truly a rhythm, especially at tracks that are technical like this, with strategy like this, to be able to stay out and get to the front and stay in the front.
A lot of action here in the top, between like positions 6 through 10 here. See the 99 of Tyler Lem to the outside. He's brushed that safer barrier a couple times in his charge back.
Just about, I believe, 11 or 10 laps away now from halfway through this race, which will be lap 67. You see the 99 machine there going around the outside. That's Tyler Lem. He's up 7 spots from his original starting position. Take a look in the 7th spot, up 15 spots, the biggest mover so far in this race. That's Corey Ennis holding his own. We saw him get involved in the first caution today. I mean, he's running clean. He's got some tough competition up ahead of him. As you can see, he is breathing down the tailpipe of the 25 of Musal. Coming around the outside, Garrett Walden. We'll see if he can make that move stick. If he can go for a twofer here, that'd be impressive to see from that 43 machine. But Corey Ennis, our big mover so far for tonight.
You see these guys fanning out, trying.
Got Jordan
25 did.
to the
25
outside of the
did close the door. Yes.
Yep.
Sure did.
Wow, this is definitely
this front
battle
back
to watch right now. That's the 19 of, I believe, Ledger leading this pack right now. And super competitive racing. He's got Wenzel, Walden, Musal, Ennis, and I believe just ahead of him is Lucas Gortman fighting for that spot. So back up front, I mean, it is a monster gap right now for Corey Bunch and Austin Wheeler, our 2 leaders right now. They're just running away with it. So we'll see if they're going to burn their tires up too early. And this pack back here may be fighting just for those stage points, or is it a tire battle, a secret tire battle for these guys, trying to see who can make the other burn up their set more and trying to frustrate the other driver. You're like, hey, you know, I don't want you to win this race. I don't want you to get by me, so I'm going to make your tires burn off much quicker than I am by just following my line and being slower. So we'll see how that strategy will play into it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That big gap they have now might disappear faster than they want it to, based on what this pack here behind them decides.
Well, they've
deciding how patient they want to be.
Well, they've settled down a little bit, nose to tail a bit, although Corey Ennis has got Garrett Walden right there in that Valvoline 43 trying to work his way around Jordan Wenzel. But if they stay together, these guys could, with that little bit of drafting that happens here in Texas, they could catch that lead back.
And there is a gap happening behind them now as well, where they are kind of driving away, where there's almost 3 separate packs out here on the track right now. 4 separate packs out here. Field gapping out. So we get to lap 62, coming into lap 62 here. Wenzel showed a lot of speed there, toward the latter stages of the first stage. Just trying to carve up and make some moves happen. We've seen him race throughout the year this year, and he's always really fast, really competitive in that race car. Obviously, you can see now, you were saying, Rick, they're settling down. They're biding their time a little bit. They're feeling it out. But I would not want to see Wenzel in my rear view in the late stage of this one, as he's one of the guys to watch tonight.
One of the things that he's got to do is be super smooth, and he's a classic example. Jordan Wenzel, experienced driver here. He knows that that first stage is done. Now it's about getting to lap 90 plus here to that next round of pit stops, and to be competitive. And the only way to do that is to save your stuff through this early part here, and in 30 laps to be able to have a competitive race car headed into the last round of pit stops.
Looks like Garrett Walden into the 43 machine, going to look to the inside here of Jordan Wenzel, going to force him to run the middle. That's another thing we were looking at as well, is you want to conserve your tires, but you don't want to be painstakingly slow for that pit stall spot. I mean, like we said, every point's going to matter at the end of this race. You don't want to be caught in the back conserving too much, and then you get to the end of this race, you're 18th with 2 laps to go. You have the best tires out of anybody, but you just don't have enough time to get up front. So we'll see if Corey Bunch is burning his stuff up. Take a look at this battle here for, I believe this is the 5th spot with Jordan Wenzel as the 43 of Walden going to try to assume that spot. 3 wide down the back straightaway here. Everybody wanting a piece of this top 5 here.
Yeah, and all of this for 5th place. This is a hot battle. They're they close out the 43 there of Garrett Walden. That was a little tighter than I think they might have wanted it to be, but it gave the 25 of Jacob Musau a chance to get back into this battle as well. So comers and goers here in this little bunch. It's fun to watch. Hopefully they don't burn their stuff up too bad, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad I'm not driving it, because that is some tight racing there they got going on.
Right, we've seen a lot of drivers fade in, fade out of this top 10. Not a lot of significant leaderboard changes so far besides the cars that were involved in the last couple cautions, but it's all Corey Bunch. It's the Corey Bunch show right now. About 2/10 is the gap right now, and it looks like it's growing from, it was 2.8 last lap. It's now 3.20 is the gap between him and Austin Wheeler. So we'll see if Corey Bunch has figured this tire conservation game out, if he can time it correctly. But don't ever count out Austin Wheeler. I mean, he's our points leader for a reason, and he knows how to win. So right now we'll see if Austin Wheeler can pick up his 4th of the season.
Yeah, he's just 3.5 tenths past behind Corey Bunch, and Lucas Portman, who's also a winner, is right there as well. They've got about 1.5 seconds over that pack we were just focusing on.
The biggest number I see on that leaderboard isn't the mover or any of that. It's that big gap. It's that big gap between, not just 2nd and 3rd, but 4th to 3rd. There's over a 2.5 second gap here, where it's just, 2.5 gap here. It's not out of reach, but I'll tell you what, you look at that camera and it's sure starting to look that way. So interesting to see how long it's going to take these guys to decide, all right, they're out there, let's rein them in, boys, and then start to get back on that loud pedal and get toward the front again. Absolutely. It's like you were saying earlier, you want to make sure you have enough time to get it done. That's going to be part of the magic of the mathematics of Texas Motor Speedway.
Just past halfway there, a couple of these drivers living on a prayer right now for these tires. Look at John Ledger, how tight that car is getting off the corner. I mean, he is fighting that thing with every fiber of his being to keep it just even straight on this track right now. As you can see, very little input right now, trying to conserve those tires, but coming off the corners, you can see just how tight that number 19 machine is. So keep an eye out for John Ledger, as that car looks like it's continuing to get tighter and tighter.
See these guys leveraging that downshift to try and brake a bit into that first corner.
If I'm seeing that correctly, is the gap growing between Bunch and Wheeler? It's gone to 4/10 of a second now.
It sure is.
Wow.
So been able to command this race. I mean, if we had started this race and you said to me one guy was just going to jump out and run all out and get out this far, I would have thought that was a crazy idea. But Corey Bunch knows something the rest of them don't, because not only is he running it, but he's able to manage it as well. I mean, he does have Austin Wheeler kind of in the vicinity, but not making any major gains on him.
Right, I think a good thing to look at there is the telemetry entering the corners and off the corners. Wheeler's so much better into the corners, but middle and off, Bunch is just dominating there. We'll see if that's a tire strategy between him and Austin Wheeler. You can see down the front straightaway there, and look at the gap, 0.5 of a second. Getting into the corner, look at the time that Wheeler gains. It drops down to almost 0.3. So we'll see how that 77 is doing as the run's going to keep going on. But right now, Corey Bunch just dominating this race.
Rest of the field still pretty close together, you know, 5th through 7th. All you can throw a blanket over them. Same goes for some of the racing that may be happening out back there as well. Between 17th and 20th. That's some of those positions in the rear of the field.
That's a telling
Tight
number
racing.
right there, guys. Corey Bunch has led all but 2 laps so far.
He likes doing that when he wins. He he gets out and he doesn't let it go.
We may see for
Not drivers even can do it.
Right, and I believe it was it Musau who led these 2 laps. We'll see if Musau will be going for the Joey Logano strategy. Hanging back when it comes 2 laps to go, it's time to strike, and he's going to just fly his way up through this field. So, whoa, big loose there for the 19 of Ledger. What a save by the 19 to get back out onto this racetrack and keep that 19 straight and just keep going. And look at this 27 car of Corey Ennis fighting his way up through this field. He's now in the 6th spot after getting by John Ledger. He's got Musso and Parasini up in front of him. But right now, that gap between Wheeler and Bunch still growing. We're almost to the 6/10 of a second now between Bunch and Wheeler.
We should see pit stops somewhere about 18 laps from now, I guess.
I don't know how he does it. The gap continues to grow. It's growing almost to 7/10 now as we watch the interval timer. 18 laps to go. Is it a matter of how fast they'll catch him or how much faster he'll drive away?
Garrett Walden is now on pit road, the 43.
Whoa.
Make his way down.
Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how that's going to play out. But
Okay.
I still
early
think,
pit.
Right. I still think it's a little bit too early to take tires or just anything in general. We'll see what he's going to take here. It looks like right sides. So he more than likely will be taking a full set. But looking back up front, almost 7s now. And the strange thing is, it doesn't look like Bunch is overdriving it. It just looks so much smoother than any other car out here, and he's almost babying this car around, but he still has the gap that he has. I mean, just perfect driving. I mean, we know why he has 2 wins right now, and he's really showing it. I mean, he's been perfect all night long besides those 2 laps. He did lead. It's been pure perfection for Corey Bunch.
He really set himself up right from the get-go there. That first stage was his warning shot to the field where he knew he was going to get out in front and let him know this is where I'm going to start this race and get that track position. And now it's all in his hands as he's just, like you said, carving it up just with surgical precision.
He is still able to get down to that, right down to the apron each time here already at lap 81 with 40 plus laps on these tires.
Keep watching. Drop down into the 5ths now, but it doesn't look like that's going to matter as off the corners. It's just destroying the 48 of Austin Wheeler. We'll see if we'll have any takers in the next couple of laps here, as the 43 machine was the first one to get off pit road, and Garrett Walden is the first taker here. As you can see, a couple guys going through the grass there, and obviously, giving the groundskeeper a little bit more work to do. We go back to the off week, but Corey Bunch right now still the man up in front. Austin Wheeler, Lucas Gortman, Matt Parasini, and Jacob Musau, your top 5. Corey Ennis, our big leader, our big gainer for tonight, 16 spots he's gained since the start of this race. So shout out Corey Ennis for being up 16 spots and staying clean and getting his way through.
I'll be honest with you, I'm still not quite sure what he did to make all those positions back up. I feel like we would have seen him move up through the field that number of spots, like if it was happening, as passing. But something on pit road, something worked different for Corey Ennis as he was getting around that first stage, and my goodness, it is paying dividends for him.
And that's what it looked like. I mean, it looks like he gained most of his spots on pit road and on the pit road restart for stage 1. And that 27 just ripping there, a little bit loose, tapping the inside apron there. But this 2017, even if it's not a win tonight, he's got everything to be proud of off of pit road and on these restarts. So Corianis up 16 spots from Syracuse, New York, in that 2017, as you can see on board here. Just precision. Look how close these guys are getting to this wall. I mean, precision is key here at Texas. You can see a couple different lines being run here. You see middle, you see top. Looks like we got a taker coming down pit road. It looks like that's 24 machine. Yep, Matthew Parasini going to be our taker. So that's our first really up front car going to be taking. We'll see how that's going to play out in the next couple of laps here, as we're just about to 50 laps to go.
That's very interesting. He's in.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll see how this plays out. Most of these guys pitted last on lap 46.
I mean, it's interesting, definitely watching these guys, seeing what they'll take, when they'll take. And so far, you see some odd takers here. You know, we just saw the 24 machine of Parasini take. We saw Walden take. So we'll see, one, if they can make their way back up front, and two, will they burn their stuff up long enough to where we'll see them hopefully not fall to the back, or will they make their way back up to the front, and we'll hopefully see one of those two get in victory lane. But right now, Bunch up in front, Corianis in the 5th spot, up 17 now. Wheeler, Gortman, Musau, and Ennis are going to round out your top 5. The rest of your top 10 is Jordan Wetzel, John Ledger, Tyler Lem, Christopher Cash, and John DeRugeris. He's up a pretty good amount of spots now after we saw that wreck he was involved in early on. So DeRugeris trying to fight his way back up into the top 10, and right now he's the one holding that spot.
Now, just a point of clarification, going back and realizing these drivers are actually racing around mostly in 4th gear, that is actually burning significantly more fuel. So our telemetry calculation shows around 45 laps max, and they won't run it dry, so maybe it's going to be 43. That puts us, caution's out at just the most opportune time.
Wow.
And we'll
what
see
a time.
here.
What a time.
Ooh, the 38 machine, I believe that is Trotter. And we saw trouble with the 38 machine earlier on in this race. Perfect. I mean, it's almost like he timed that.
Ball there. Couldn't ask for more if you're a leader in this race, looking for a chance to come down and get your stuff taken care of. See what happens here to. He's just riding this middle lane.
Way
94
off
comes up. Yeah. Looks like he just gets a little disrupted and can't hang on.
Yep.
Goes for a ride. More for the grounds crew.
Yeah, looks like a quick sponsorship there from John Deere Mowers there as he goes through the grass there and watching this 38 machine. I mean, a decent save from him. Doesn't look like there's going to be too heavy damage, but I would keep an eye out. We'll see who else is with Mountain View Racing. We'll see if there's been some comms between teammates, possibly. I don't know. Not saying anything yet, but everybody going to be taking right now. As you can see, the 27 first to his pit stall. Like we were saying, with this 2017, they've been great on pit road so far tonight. We'll see if he can be perfect once again coming off pit road here, as he was the first one to hit it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting here now as we see all these guys getting their stuff taken care of on pit road. Some cars staying out that did that short pit strategy. Interesting to see their tires can hold up to the stuff that drivers like Corey Bunch and Austin Wheeler are going to have out there to throw at them.
Quiet gainer on pit road is the 16 of Lucas Gortman. He's going to be restarting in that 3rd spot. Ennis going to be up a couple. He'll be in 5th. And everything's staying pretty much as it was on pit road. As right now, Bunch still going to be your leader here. A couple non-takers. Interesting strategy. Right now, we'll see if they'll come down next time by. That's the 24 of, I believe, Aracini and Jeffers.
Yeah,
We'll see what they're on.
Aracini had come down earlier, so
yeah, he may get a
I think
wave
they
around.
both came already.
Well, he had to stay out to get his lap back, I think.
Right, right.
I'm guessing they'll get a wave around to once those lights go off on that pace car. There we go. And they do. Now, interesting restart, to say the least. You've got to the outside, you've got the 48 of Austin Wheeler, who's been looking at the Corey Bunch's bumper this whole time. And then right behind Bunch, you've got the, I think the 16 of Gortman.
He did make up a lot of spots there.
Right, he absolutely
We have
did.
not talked about him much in the top 5 tonight. He's putting himself in a position to go out there and run with the big dogs up the front now.
Corey Ennis is restarting 6th here. Also up 16 spots is the 17 of Austin Walton. He's back in 12th, plus 15, plus 16, somewhere in there.
This 27
Talk there
crew.
for a minute, too.
Yeah, looks like this 27 crew on their way down here to Texas. Looks like they skipped the Whataburger because they are sure as heck hungry for the win here tonight. And we'll see if Gortman can pull it off, Ennis can pull it off. A lot of good drivers up here in this top 5 spot. A lot of these guys no strangers to victory lane. So we'll see who's going to lead us for the rest of this race. And will it get more chaotic? We're about to find out as we're going back green here at Texas.
And there goes Corey Bunch getting that jump on the restart. A great restart for him as he sails it off into turns 1 and 2, and it'll be a battle behind him here. Oh, a little bit of beating and banging up against that wall, too, there, about 5 or 6, 7 cars back. I believe that was Cash. A few others around him there trying to make that one work.
I think it's a 99 of Tyra Lem. We're still watching this side-by-side racing with Gortman and Wheeler, and a little bit of Corey Ennis thrown in the mix as well.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, if you're Corey Bunch, that's obviously exactly what you want to see in your rearview mirrors. Everybody going at it and just, making your life a whole lot easier because then you don't have to deal with it. But don't count out Lucas Gortman. He's inched his way up to the front. Our very, very quiet driver tonight. I mean, he snuck his way into the top 5 early on, but now he finds himself in that 2nd spot and possibly eyeing a win here at Texas Motor Speedway as he's chasing down Corey Bunch.
He one of those where'd he come from kind of
Yeah.
experiences tonight for Gortman. And where'd he come from, but where he's going, I think, is more of what he's focused on, and he's got Corey Bunch in his sights here as he's cruising around through 3 and 4, made his way up through some of those drivers in the front of the field to put himself in this position.
Just 39 laps left here at Texas in the AutoTrader EchoPark 200.
This one's flying by tonight.
Yeah.
This has been a great race all night long. These guys really putting it to each other, keeping it really clean. No commentators curse. I'm going to knock on wood, cross my fingers, put utensils under my pillow, whatever I have to do to make sure that one's, a lot of good racing out here tonight at Texas, and that people look at and raise their eyebrows sometimes, but we're getting a treat.
Oh, here we go. This might be. It still is way too early to call. It's never over until the checkered flag falls. But this looks like right now the battle for the win. I mean, you're looking to the inside now as Gortman can't quite get there, has to back way out of the throttle. He's going to have his work cut out for him once again. He was down to 0.09 seconds. Now it's back up to 2/10, so he's going to have to work Corey Bunch right back down again.
That last lap was
Big thing
Lucas
here is-
Gortman's. That was the fastest lap of the field with a 29.96. Fastest lap of
Cooking.
the night.
Out there cooking.
Unfortunately, he had to back out of
This
that.
is really the first time, too, that Bunch hasn't had much pressure on him all night. So seeing Gortman in his rearview mirror might do something, and even just getting close, just sniffing around might give Gortman a little bit of an advantage. He's going to try to drive it in here and make up some of that gap, but like you said, a little too early to tell still. We'll see what happens here as these two try to chase each other around down the backstretch.
We're going to keep on keeping on here at Texas Motor Speedway. Corey Bunch and Lucas Gortman, that's your top two. Bunch trying to get a little bit of a gap more. He's going to be really pushing it now as we're down to 35 laps to go, I believe now, as we have not quite yet broken the triple-digit mark here with our lap count, but Gortman really strong in and off the corners. As that gap is now getting shorter, you can see it's going down a lot quicker than Corey Bunch would like to see.
Corey Bunch just going to have to drive in his mirror just a little bit, manage that gap, really make sure he's not overdriving his stuff. We've complimented him all night about his consistency as Gortman just creeps up, just creeping along, kind of driving that car kind of a half a lane up from the bottom there, trying to keep that momentum, keep that speed off the exit. He's there for sure.
I mean,
Corey Bunch is a little bit better going through 3 and 4, but he's there.
Right, I think it's just a matter now of when's the time to make the pass, because you don't want to make the pass and then you're out of stuff, giving Corey Bunch an opportunity to get back to you. So we'll see. It looks like he's going to try to time it. I think that's the most logical option right now for Lucas Gortman. So we'll see if he can time his stuff right, braking significantly earlier into the corner than Corey Bunch.
I think if you look at it, Lucas Gortman is much better through 1 and 2, a little better.
Yeah.
And then Corey Bunch is better through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, Gortman really heavy on the brakes going into 3 and 4, so we'll see what that's going to do for Corey Bunch, but almost into the 3s now with this gap, that is not what Gortman wants to see right now.
It's been kind of a yo-yo here as he's tried to get up close, and then Bunch pushing him back, driving away a little bit. It's going to be a real battle of who's best in turns 1 and 2 and who's best in 3 and 4, like you're saying. It's just, this track is so unique. Gortman there trying to gain some of that back here in 1 and 2. Can he hang on to it? Can he keep it rolling through? Speed onto the backstretch. We'll close it down just a little bit every lap as we how many we got left here? I took math 3 or 4 times, so you're gonna have to help me out there. We got 31 laps remaining here at Texas.
So right there, you can't lose sight of the fact that just behind them, there's a battle happening between Corey Ennis and Austin Wheeler. It's a battle for third.
And these two just keeping their eye on those leaders. They want to make sure they save their stuff enough where they're not battling each other so hard that they can't get a chance to come across that start-finish line first themselves. So,
Winding down, 30 laps to go here. A bunch of Gortman leading the way. 4/10 is the gap of the next car between second and third. Next car, Corey Ennis, finally found his way into a podium spot. He's gotten by Austin Wheeler. We'll see if he can hold on to that and pull out a third-place finish. Car's slow there.
Yeah, I think Eric Jeffers went
the
off.
pace,
I think he actually went through the landscaping.
yeah, you can see the rear of that car. I think was slip sliding around there as he tried to get through turn 2.
Right, and thankfully no caution there. We'll see what happened. Yeah, just really loose there. Got into the, I believe that's a 42 machine of Tony Japs, who we've seen a lot of times in contact so far tonight. Taking a ride through the grass and gets it through there without spinning it, which is very impressive there.
Pretty good. Pick your favorite mower.
Yeah.
Little Kubota, little John Deere, little Cub Cadet tonight. We've seen them all go flying through that infield grass.
Yeah, looks like an emergency sponsor from insert mower brand here. There's a couple you can name, but so far it's been clean racing all night. Only 2 cars out of this race, Paul Irvin and Jeff Ramsdell. Ramsdell in the 27th spot, Irvin in the 26th spot. But right now, Bunch is gaining right now with that gap. He's now almost into the 0.4 of a second between him and Lucas Gortman. So time is running out for this 16 team.
These guys are going to be really close on fuel, guys. Our calculations here, they pitted last on lap 89. We think there's 45 laps on a tank. Well, guess what? 89 and 45 is 134.
It's going to be close.
Yep.
Give it a little shake. Make sure everybody's. Make sure you're getting it to the pump.
I mean, everybody pitted on lap 89. There's nobody that went in for a splash of fuel any earlier. So if this comes down to a green and white checker, we may see everybody potentially getting a bit of splash and go to get back out there.
It could be a real shake-up here as you see the 48 there. Austin Wheeler finally making that pass on Corey Ennis. They've been going back and forth there for a little bit. Wheeler just got that inside position on turn 3 and took advantage to
25 laps to go as these laps wind down here in the iNRS AutoTrader EchoPark Auto 200.
Say that 3 times fast, right?
Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. Yeah, I was getting ready to say that's heck of a name right there. Instead of, we could have just had back in the day the Texas 500, but
yep,
had to get corporate, unfortunately. But in the 5/10 now, almost getting ready to break into the 6/10 of a second here is hopefully, in Lucas Gortman's eyes, he's not losing a lot of hope in the machine that's under him right now. That number 16 car was close a couple laps ago, and now it's starting to grow. We'll see if he's saving his tires up for one final run, and one final look to the inside of Corey Bunch.
Now next
even
week,
if Lucas Gortman is not, go ahead. Next week, Greg.
I was just going to say that next week we will not be on the air. We've got there's a break in the action for our Wednesday night series. These drivers will be racing next week at the Advent Health 200. We will not be covering that race. The broadcast team had a prior engagement, like an anniversary. So we're going to be not broadcasting next week. Yep, first anniversary. So there's that. But we'll pick back up our series. We'll be in the beach in Florida. We'll be picking up the All-Star break. We've got both our Wednesday night series and our Thursday night series will be at North Wilkesboro.
Always a good track to go.
That's going to be
watch a race at, experience a race at, and just a good track to race at overall. We're dipping down into the 20s to go. Gap has gotten just a little bit lower. We'll see if Lucas Gortman has played his cards right and he's known when to hold them. But the question is, will he know when to fold them right now as we're just under, getting ready to be just under 20 laps to go.
This is on board.
This has been
16.
a tremendous night for him. So you get a little loose there as he's coming off of turn 4, brushing up near that wall. Not on it, but near it.
He's, interestingly enough, he is not saving anything here. He's staying in 4th gear where other drivers, as they cross that start-finish line, would upshift into 5th gear. He's holding it right against the chip there. That's not good for fuel mileage, but good for torque.
Yeah, no bars held. He's trying to get all that acceleration out of those corners to get back to Corey Bunch here and give himself a fighting chance. It has been a heck of a day, though, for Lucas Gortman. I mean, just absolutely figuring this out for himself and his team.
Yeah, up 8 spots.
Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there off 2. He was in the 4s there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's doing everything
Now,
he can to
just
close
for
that
a
gap.
second. He's driving that thing like he stole it.
Almost getting up into the 7/10 there for Lucas Gortman. So we'll see if he can gain that time back, because it looks like he's doing so pretty quickly, a lot looser in 1 and 2 than Corey Bunch is, but it has just been textbook racing from Corey Bunch. Like we said, we don't know if he's going to burn his stuff up early. He's been able to run near flat out most of this race, has led all of this race, and has not been able to burn anything up. It is just impressive driving from Corey Bunch so far this race.
So just looking at some
It's like watching.
just looking at some best lap times versus last lap times, there's a bit of about a second and 1.3 deep of fall off on these tires for Corey Bunch. Lucas Gortman maybe 1.34. So it's pretty much the fall off is relatively uniform across all of these drivers.
It nears 15 to go, 17 laps now to go here at Texas Motor Speedway, and Lucas Gorman getting down into the fours once again. But it looks like a new challenger is going to try to grab the second spot and possibly the win. Austin Wheeler has made up a lot of time on this top two duo here, so we'll see if he can get around any of these two cars as leaders.
And we talked about Wheeler having saved some earlier in this race. Went the same way again here and is coming with a full head of.
We'll see if he can do it. 15 to go. Anything can happen.
So you'll notice he
is employing that strategy.
Yeah, he's got a little bit different shifting solution.
Whoa, big loose there from Lucas Gortman. Saving that right rear from touching that wall. My goodness. I mean, these guys are possibly starting to burn their stuff up now, but look at Austin Wheeler, the ground he's gaining, the time he's getting back. It's just impressive driving from him all around.
Yeah, all the while Gortman was driving it like he stole it to catch Bunch. Wheeler is calm, cool, collected, technical, getting ready to set himself up maybe for a move into that P2 position.
Yeah, he's super smooth for 1 and 2 and backs it up with his approach to 3 and 4 here.
It'll be interesting now. It's part of the closing of the race here with 13 laps to go. We talked about fuel earlier on, and that would have just enough. 48 Austin other cars we saw clicking it up into 50. Going to save just that little tiny bit, and it might be what it comes down to in the end if this stays green.
We saw Austin Wheeler look to the outside there in 1 and 2. He knows it's his time to go. I mean, we like we said earlier, could this possibly be the Logano strategy? He's going to fight his way back up late in this race, take away any hope, any opportunity from these top two cars as going to try to fake out the 16 of Gortman under the inside of Lucas Gortman now. Oh, big loose from Austin Wheeler there. What a save. He's going to still keep it under Lucas Gortman. We have a new second place car. Austin Wheeler is going to grab that spot with 12 to go.
Wiggle and all, he's still able to complete that around Lucas Gortman. That is something that your hands are busy on the wheel of that car. Austin Wheeler showing what kind of wheelman he is for that second spot.
Look at the boot scoot and boogie to save that number 48 machine coming off of turn 2 now. Look at the time now. It's going down ever so slowly, but he's getting there. Austin Wheeler just looks faster than this 77 of Corey Bunch, so we'll see if he can catch the 77 in these closing laps here. Just now, 10 laps to go here in this race.
With 10 to go, Corey Bunch going to be rooting and tooting, trying to keep Austin Wheeler at bay.
He's going to need to pick up a significant amount with just 10 laps to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now
a long way to go.
Oh, caution's out! Caution's out!
Oh my!
Wow!
This changes. Oh, big crash! Wow!
Oh man!
That's a 24 machine. Unfortunate for him, Matt Parasini.
And the 3 of Ron Fitting.
Ron Fitting, yep. Wow, that's going to change
24
things.
car had been. 24 car had been having a heck of a day. Was one of the guys who was a comer and a goer. Looks like something caught him there and sent him down into that
Take a
wall.
look at what happened here.
See, we got the replay here.
Oh, the Parasini was
Oh, he's
already
just loose there,
yeah.
man.
Let's back that up a
Looks
bit.
like-
So
Like, yeah, running that
way up
middle
the track
line
there.
as late as these guys are in their run with these tires, just really risky because I mean it looks like he just overshot that corner, tried to save it, and just couldn't get it. Really close racing there, almost had it saved, but just that snap right there sent the
Almost
rear end
saves it.
around. Yeah,
Yeah, almost saved it down onto the apron there, but that is such a difficult try to take control of.
look how far back the 3
Or
is
way
from
back
this
here.
wreck. Yeah, it just looks like. We'll
You can
see
see-
here. Oh yeah.
he tried to avoid him, assumed he had the spot, but didn't happen. So with that, guess what, folks? Everybody's on pit road.
Yep. And it looks like the race off pit road. Gortman back to second.
Wow.
Wheeler in
Just
third.
squeaks him
Musau
out.
in fourth. Wow. Well, it's just like George Jones said just after that caution. Heartaches going to the inside, and unfortunate for the 24 machine. And Matt Parasini was a top 5 car all night long. It looks like just a bad pit stop put him in the back, but unfortunate for Parasini and fitting.
Of course, a little bit of bad luck for Corey Bunch. He thought he was just 9 laps away from closing this one out.
He still might be. We've seen him
Yeah.
on those restarts. He's so
Yeah.
good.
But now
I
he's
think
got,
these guys might have a trick or two up their sleeves.
Yeah, because they've got 4 fresh
Got all this
Goodyear
new
tires and fuel.
Wish we could get a heart rate monitor on some of these guys, see what their heart rate is coming to the green flag here. I know for Lucas Gortman, it's got to be through the roof, but for Corey Bunch, who's obviously got 2 wins on this year, no stranger to winning. But we're going to see if any of these guys can pull it off. This top 5 has been a wild card all night long with Corey Ennis and Jacob Musau now sneaking into as we're getting ready to go back to green here at Texas.
Just a great show being put on by these iNRS
Yeah.
drivers tonight.
Yeah, this has been a great one. I know I was away for a couple of weeks, but this one has been one of the best I've called all year with you guys. So what a treat tonight. Hopefully everybody at home really enjoying this one, watching this. Make sure you're following along with everything that iNRS is doing all year long. Let's plug to like, follow, and subscribe as this league marches on. I know it's an off week next week, but reason for you to stay connected.
See a number of drivers trying to get some heat in those fresh tires.
We're going to see right now 7 laps to go. When we restart, it'll be 6. We'll see if the white horse, Corey Bunch, can pull off a win in that number 77 Dark Horse Mustang. It is outside Lucas Gortman. Austin Wheeler. Now, as a driver myself, 3rd is really a good spot to be, especially on restarts like this that have so much on the table. You can just duck immediately to the inside of the leader. We'll see coming back to green. Will Corey Bunch get that jump that he's so well known for coming back to green? And yes, he does. What a jump there. He's already out to the lead. What a jump by Corey Bunch.
I don't think that Austin Wheeler really got that good of a jump.
No.
We had a lot of pressure behind him by Corey Ennis.
Wheeler just wants to get clear.
Coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yep.
Wheeler just wants to get
Looks like
clear
it.
of the 19, or excuse me, the 16 of Gortman just as quick as he can because he's there. It's just a matter of can he pass him is the question. I mean, he's been on his he was close to his bumper early on, but now it's his time to go. 5 laps to go now. It's go time. Around the outside here,
Here he
will he
goes
make
to the
it work?
outside.
Can't quite do it. I mean, Bunch has been so good on the inside line in both corners. We don't really see the inside line prevail in 1 and 2 much, but 3 and 4, I mean, he's mastered it.
Taking a look, taking a peek, Austin Wheeler. He's going to find his way on maybe not how to get around him, but how he's going to try to get around Corey Bunch here.
I mean, it's also
Corey, though,
mind games, too.
not
I
going
mean,
quietly.
yeah, I mean, it's mind games. You want to see if you can just at least make the guy sweat a little bit, kind of get him worrying a little bit and watching his rearview mirror start mirror driving. But now, this is what Corey Bunch wants to see. He wants to see two cars battling it out for second, while he can just try to run away with it. Austin Wheeler going to get clear there. Coming back to 3 to go. We'll see if that battle for second will play into the battle for the lead. But right now, it is Wheeler and Bunch with 3 laps to go now. Will he look to the inside here? A shove to the 77. He's going to get him loose into 1 and 2. Look at the 27 machine. Going to try to stick it in. Corey Ennis 3 wide for the lead coming off turn 2. Corey Ennis 21 spots up. He's going to be your leader. What a turn of events.
Still 3 wide.
Oh,
contact.
Oh, Wheeler going to go around.
There's more contact. Wenzel.
Big wreck in the back. Wheeler going to go around. And
wall.
Many more cars involved. The big one has struck here at Texas. My goodness.
With
How
3
things
laps
can
to
change
go.
so quickly. Wow.
Oh, man.
Lucas Gortman involved.
I am. Everybody
Austin Wheeler
involved there.
involved.
That is unfortunate. There was some great racing happening there, and the margins get so tight. We talked about these guys. They're an inch off each other, an inch off the wall, and those inches just go away, as we saw right in that situation, in that moment. I mean, Wheeler really was trying to put a move on to get that lead, to win this race. And, man, that's tough for everybody.
I still am, I mean, just speechless, the racing that we saw there in those last couple laps there. But Corey Ennis making it stick 3 wide bottom, and Jacob Wenzel, or excuse me, the 48 machine of Wheeler. We'll see where the contact was. It looks like he was just trying to. No, actually, there's contact
Clips
right there.
apron,
91 got
just a
loose.
scrooge.
Yeah, 81 got loose. Wenzel. And then from there on out, the 77 trying to make a lane high. He gets there, but it looks like that's where the main contact was. Between Musau and I believe that's the 81 of
Corey.
Yeah, it's Corey there. Ooh.
59 of John
just
Drury.
clearing
Yeah.
out Gordon.
Bostic in
Ty
there.
Bostic involved.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
17
Can't believe Corey
slams.
Bunch squeaked his way out of that one. That was
Yeah.
tight.
I mean, it looked like
Oh,
Corey
man.
Bunch's night was over right there. To see the 28 involved as well. But just really unfortunate for. I mean, a lot of these cars that were up front were great cars. We're going to try to get formed back up here.
Now that cycled Corey Bunch back into fourth
fourth
and
spot.
puts the man of the hour, Corey Ennis, up to the point.
Not somebody we've spent a ton of time talking about. You know, they did skip the Whataburger, and that was controversial, but gonna pay off. Gonna pay off as he's gonna roll off in that first spot. On this
That hunger
restart,
looks
the
like
most
it's-
important one.
Right, that hunger looks like it's paying off for that 2017. I mean, 3 wide bottom for the moves is a move you don't see a lot here at Texas, and not only that, but a move you don't see that gets stuck a lot. So, Rick, why don't you go ahead for our viewers who are watching online, the overtime rules for the IWM series, if we do have any, going with 3 to go.
So what we've got is 3 green-white checkers. That means as these drivers approach and get that green flag, if they make it safely back around, they'll take the white flag, and then whatever happens at that point, because the next flag that comes out will be the checker, and we'll have a winner here at Texas in the AutoTrader EchoPark Auto 200.
Show is just getting started, gentlemen.
Exciting race here in
We
Texas
have
by
been
these
in-
guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those last couple of laps were some of the best racing we've seen, maybe all year long there, just in terms of comers and goers and who was saving their stuff up. So now that we've got a little reshuffle happening, we'll see who can get the job done under
Well,
pressure here at Texas.
Right, there's no sleeping on the blacktop here. These guys are just ready to go. Overtime. I mean, this is prime time racing right here. The 4 best cars all day long. We saw a couple of them are now out of this race or just have heavy damage. But Musau, Wenzel, Ennis, and Bunch, that's your top 4. The 4 fastest all day long. Of Corey Ennis going to try to pull us off, and he gets a Corey Bunch-style jump there as Corey Ennis way out to the lead now. But can he hold off these fast three here?
He'll
Yeah,
need
Bunch
every
and
bit
Wenzel
of that
gonna try to
lead.
work together.
Yep.
Oh,
Jacob Musso finds himself right there in a good spot.
Corey Bunch, look, knows he's got the speed. He just needs to get himself out in front of something clean and start to run on his race here these last 2 laps. Make these moves happen.
White flag flies.
For Corey Ennis, up 21 spots. Jacob Musso now going to try to get this win. Corey Bunch now in the 3rd spot. Will he try to make a last-second move here? Into 3 and 4 now. Up 21 spots. Started in the back. From out of the playoffs to locked in, Corey Ennis pulls off the upset here at Texas Motor Speedway, and he's going to lock himself in to the playoffs in the iNRS series here at Texas Motor Speedway, and that's got to be a big moment for the 27.
What a night. What a night for Corey Ennis.
Wow.
All the emotions for him. I mean, you said it. You said it best. Paint that picture of from being on the outside looking in to locked in the matter of one race, in the matter of a handful of laps there toward the end. I mean, if I'm Corey Ennis, I am over the moon, ecstatic. Just what a night for him.
All right, there's
1-2 for Short Fuse Motorsports as well.
Absolutely. Corey Ennis wins. Jacob Musso finishes in 2nd, and Corey Bunch in 3rd. All right, we should get race results momentarily. And we do.
Gonna burn those tires down to the ground. Corey Ennis, your winner. Jacob Musso in 2nd. Corey Bunch on the podium, P3. Jordan Wenzel, John Ledger wrapping up the top 5. Ty Bostic,
Michael Whitley in 7th. Christopher Cash
I'm sorry,
in 8th.
Eric Jeff.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. Garrett Walden in 9th and Eric Jefferson 10th. No worries. Shane Trotter in 11th. Vince Burns in 12th. John Drugis in 13th. Richard Mills in 14th. Bradley Reese in 15th. Tony Japs in 16th. And Clark Franz in 17th.
18th is Matt Parasini. Joe Musso in 19th. Dakota LaRue in 20th. Lucas Gortman in the 21st spot. Heartbreak for the 16 machine. The 22nd spot is Ron Fitting in the 3 machine. 23rd, Austin Walton. 24th, Tyler Lem. 25th, Austin Wheeler. Unfortunate for him. Had a shot at the lead, just couldn't quite get there on that final start there. Paul Irvin and Jeff Ramsdell. That's going to round out the top 27 cars here at Texas Motor Speedway tonight.
All right, we are waiting for Corey Bunch to join us in the press room. Let's see if we can find Corey. I'm sure there's a bit of disappointment. I'm sure that Corey will express here.
He lots to be proud of for Corey Bunch though tonight. I mean, what a clinical race he ran. Just the way he was able to dominate the majority of that race. Obviously not working out. But.
Corey, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. I know there's disappointment. You led so many laps tonight.
Oh, I'm heartbroken, man. God, that's like I was just telling Ennis and him just now. I was like, man, good win, but God, I don't even know what to say because I really didn't need that last caution to come out because I figured it would have been a duel between me and Wheeler, and I figured I could probably maybe would have hold him off or at least try my best to, and then him and Lucas both, they just had a jump on me in the short run, and they were always trying to do the best I can to try to stay ahead of him. And once it came to the medium long run, I was able to prevail. But gosh, not the way I wanted to. I mean, I'm happy for a third points, all in all, but man, I'm trying to get that personal goal of beating Jeffrey Brogdon in Cup wins, and think I'm 2 or 3 away, and I just let these opportunities are hard to come by, and I just let another one slip away.
Corey,
Well,
you're sitting second in points right now. You have 2 wins on the season. You're only second to Austin Wheeler right now. It's just 5 points ahead of you. You got the stage win. Is it a good points day for you? I mean, obviously, I know you wanted to pull out the win, but was points the main focus going into tonight?
Yeah, because I didn't really know how Texas was going to, turn out for us. I think the last time I even made laps here was like in the nighttime, so I figured the heat was going to make a little bit of a difference with it being like 110 track temp, and it decreased from then on out. But yeah, it was just the more I think about it, as much as I'm trying not to think about me giving up a win. It is a good points day. It's been a minute since I've won a stage, so that was good to put that in the bag and get that playoff point to carry over for the championship. But 5 points pay better than 1.
Right.
well, congratulations on at
And I mean,
least on your finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, let me just get a shout out to Full Throttle. The guys, they've just done an awesome job. We've had a little bit of a slump, just with Dega, and then Bristol, I kind of stepped on my own foot and, got myself a bad finish there by running the top 10. So it's been kind of a little bit of a drought, but to get back here in the top 5, that's kind of what we need to think about this championship overall. So, and then the guys, they just stayed behind me. Hey, you got this. You're our best chance for the team and all that. So, encouraging words from them. But I appreciate all them guys. Josh and Scott, appreciate all them for the league, and I appreciate you guys for broadcasting the event. I kind of been, hated it for it to be a snoozer for the most part, but it was. I promise you, it was getting exciting towards that last little bit till we had that last caution, and then it just
You
became
may have
anybody's guess.
you may have thought it was a snoozer. We had a blast in the booth. There was a lot of battles.
Yeah, we were having a good time
all night long. Now, maybe not at the front because you just had clear skies in front of you, but in the back behind you, there was some major drama, some great racing.
Yeah, that's what I heard from Eric and Whitley, Nip, because it's like just everybody just swatting bees at that point while I'm up there in the front just lollygagging my way because, I mean, clean air is king. That's what they always say, and that's what I strive for. But yeah, I'm just glad it was entertaining for the most part there. But, man, this is I'm about to figure out how I'm going to try to sleep tonight.
Yeah, we were saying that heart rate's got to be up through the roof.
Yeah, because like I said, you lead almost 130 something laps or so, and then you give it up like that. It's a hard pill to swallow, but all in all, I'm just thankful to actually be competitive and be actually in the running. All in all, just like I said, those wins are hard to come by, and Kansas is next, and we'll try to go after it next week.
All right, congratulations, Corey, on your finish, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
You got it. All right, that's your third place finisher, Corey Bunch, and now in the booth, Jacob Musso. Jacob, congratulations, man! You started well. You were just on the pole, and you're a contender all night long.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was lucky to get the pole. I was shocked. I plowed pretty hard during the qualifying lap, and then I honestly did not know the racing line, so I was terrified starting on the pole. So I just I just was like, all right, I know Corey Bunch is fast, so I'll just stick behind him. And then I fell back a few spots because I just didn't have that short run speed or that middle run speed like these guys. Just couldn't get my car to turn early. And then I had pretty good long run speed, I would say. I knew I fell back to 9th at one point. I was able to drive back up to the top 5. And then unfortunately, the caution came out there at the end. And then just couldn't get on the restart on the top. I was struggling on the restarts all night.
Well, definitely a great finish for the 25 tonight. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I'll love to shout out Corey Ennis, the number 27 car for SFM. Gets the first Cup win for us. Absolutely pumped for him. Deserves it. 22nd to first is absolutely insane. So luckily he was able to capitalize there late and get the dub. And then all the rest of the boys at SFM, our buddies Garrett and Jordan.
You got it. All right, there's your second place finisher tonight. Jacob Musa putting that 25 car right there in second place here at Texas. And with that, we will bring in his teammate into the broadcast booth to congratulate Mr. Corey Ennis for really, we've been watching Corey all tonight. You were the focus as you began to carve your way up through this field.
Yeah, I was a little worried when the race started. I was like 22nd. I feel like I'm going to get stuck back here. And then we just started working up the way up the field, and cautions fell where they did, and it kind of worked out.
Corey, I mean, obviously you're very excited. You went from outside of the playoffs to finally getting yourself locked in. It's a 1-2 for Short Fuse Motorsports tonight. I feel like not only, you have yourself to be prideful in, but also the team putting together a spectacular finish like this.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't ask for a better way to finish. Maybe 1-2-3 would be nice, but that's about as good as it gets right there.
I'm sure you'll take it. So.
Absolutely. I've been working hard and practicing. A lot better than it was last year. Last year I struggled, so it's good to finally get in the playoffs and see the team doing well.
Well, it definitely shows.
That was a drive by you.
Yeah, give us a little bit of insight.
Going from the position where you started. What was that like? Yeah, give us some insight there.
It was
on all that moving.
It was scary. I was definitely very aggressive. I probably made a few people mad, but I apologize. But got to do what you got to do.
Little elbows out. That's what it takes at Texas sometimes, right?
Yeah, I do want to say I do feel bad for the 77. He drove a hell of a race. It sucks what happened to him, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's the way it falls here in iRacing. So, any shout outs tonight?
Absolutely. The whole team, Short Fuse Motorsports. I feel bad for Joe. I think he got in a little trouble at the end there and fell back a little bit, but shout out to the whole team. I stream, so everybody that comes out to watch and hang out and just enjoy the race is very much appreciated. And you guys.
Thank you very much. All right, there's your winner tonight in the AutoTrader EchoPark Auto 200 here at Texas. Mr. Corey Ennis punches his ticket into the playoffs as we are rapidly approaching the break here for the All-Star break. They've got next race will be in Kansas. We won't be covering that race, but we'll pick it up at the All-Star race around the 15th of May, just in a week or so. So, again, we congratulate Corey on his win. And, guys, any closing comments or remarks?
I think just great racing is the key tonight. I mean, it was just an absolute barn burner. Like you said, we called it there early on in the race. I mean, it turned out to be a barn burner. I mean, I obviously, hate it for the drivers that did get involved in that. Corey Bunch, I mean, just dominance, I think. And, seeing that car not in victory lane, I'm sure people who tuned in for a little bit and then came back and saw Corey Ennis in victory lane must have been shocked to see him park that number 27 Short Fuse Motorsports car. But, I mean, overall, great racing tonight. I definitely think that, it's going to get a lot better as it goes on, but just a barn burner tonight, and Texas always produces good racing.
Yeah, this is the best Texas race I can remember seeing in reality or in the digital world in quite a while. So just a huge shout out to all the guys who were out there racing tonight, not just giving a great product to our fans, watching this race, but to us in the booth. And it's always a pleasure to be in the booth with you guys and experience what it's like to bring these races to life for everybody back home. So really appreciate all the drivers and you guys here tonight in the booth. And it'll be a nice week off for everybody, but looking forward to seeing iNRS get back up in action, and only halfway through the year. We've got a lot to look forward to. All
right. Well, folks, from the guys here in the booth to you all watching live, or those may pick it up on replay, we thank you again for tuning into the IWM Broadcast Network, and we'll see you in a week or so, and we'll see you at North Wilkesboro. With that, have a great night.